Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chatter Matters, the podcast series that explores leadership, innovation, stories that shape Myntra's culture. This is the second episode of the podcast. First episode was Amit Sood, Vice President Planning and Operations, but the theme was around people first mindset. Today's theme is Manager Spotlight, and we have Pravallika, who we lovingly call as Prav, who is the Associate Director for Create in the creative team. Welcome, Prav, and yeah, thank you for coming in and thanks for accepting for this podcast.
Thank you. It's an honor.
Okay, so Prav won the Best Manager award at Myntra level. She got awarded at the CEO Annual Awards. So let's start with that first, Prav. Congratulations for that. How was the feeling when you won the Best Manager award, and who contributed, and what was the contribution for you to actually win that award?
Thank you, Jubin. I think what contributed most is a mix of clarity, consistency, and care. Clarity, knowing where we are headed as a team and what success looks like. Consistency in showing up every day, whether it's problem solving, driving outcomes through innovation, or just being available for my team. And care for people, their growth, their ideas. And I have always believed that creativity thrives through structure. So we focus on building systems that enable teams to do their best work, whether it is through playbooks, AI-led workshops, or cutting-edge trends. Um, just doing better collaboration and functions. And I also try to lead with trust, giving people space to experiment, fail fast, and flow with the rhythm. So it's always the recognition, their energy, and curiosity. So help connect the dots and keep it going, keep the momentum going.
How was your feeling when you heard about it that you won that award?
It was amazing feeling, and it was surprising and amazing. Overall, I think it is the team's effort and um, the contribution that we all put together, and how the team's encouragement, curiosity, the energy that they bring in. That's what I realized that helped in winning the award.
Yeah. Thanks, Prof. Thanks again and congratulations. One thing that I want to dwell upon and talk about is at Myntra, we talk a lot about innovate to lead, which is one of our EVP pillars. And in a creative function that you're part of, right? Innovation is a heartbeat of everything that you do. In a context of that, how do you push or how do you encourage your team members to think innovatively, to think disruptively, at the same time, still aligning to the business goals and brand?
That's such an important one, Jubin, because innovation in creative function isn't just about new ideas, it's about relevant ideas for the brand moving forward. Uh, for me, it's about creating an environment that curiosity is encouraged and failure is also not feared. We try something new, be it AI-led photo shoots or best storytelling formats or new way to structure our playbooks. It's all part of the process. At the same time, we always anchor the team on the why. Every experiment should tie back to the clear outcome and stronger consumer connect, better performance, and better ways of working. So that balance is what keeps us aligned with Myntra goals. Um, and finally, innovation scales only if it is systemized. So we document, we build frameworks, we check the performance, we share learnings across charters. So that's how it stops being just a one-time spark and becomes a way of working.
Yeah, I think it's a one good point that you brought out is in everything that you do, the why should be clear. If
Yes,
that's clear, then you can build a good base to do anything that you want to. So
absolutely.
thanks, bro. Let's talk about passion for fashion, right? Another pillar of as a part of our EVP, and your team is in forefront of visual storytelling, right? That's the USP of your team. How do you inspire or influence the team to think about Mintra's fashion first DNA in the context that we are in?
I think for us, fashion is more than product. It's an emotion, culture, and self-expressions. That's what keeps us inspires. We spend a lot of time decoding what fashion means to
Mm.
seasons, moods, and every social moments. That understanding helps us tell stories that feels real and not just a idea, but we stay connected to fashion first DNA by looking at consumer lens. Whether we are creating a store or AI led campaigns, we always ask whether is it aspirational and yet relatable. We always take inspiration through mood boards, brand studies, collaboration, and honestly, ideas come alive from sketch to app to when we see that, that's what keeps the energy alive. And that purpose for fashion is what keeps us alive every day.
That's very interesting, and again, that's the passion, I would say, if
Yes.
anything, that keeps alive. And I like the way you said sketch to app, and that the energy that you get with that, and I think that's very beautifully said, bro. Let's talk about the third pillar, which is pave your way. How do you encourage your team members to own their careers, to build their own career paths? What is your, how do you do that?
For me, Pave Your Way is all about enabling people to see their potential beyond their current role. I try to create space where they can explore, experiment, and something that challenges them as well.
Yeah.
It starts with clarity. It starts with what kind of impact do they want to create. From there, I encourage them to move through the journey, whether it is on taking a new charter or a pilot project or upskilling themselves through AI and creative tech. I also believe uh, that this builds confidence and celebrate the growth in all forms. Ultimately, it's about doing great work and defining their craft.
Yeah.
And when they believe that they can shape their own path, that's what makes more, that's what builds more curiosity and confidence in themselves.
Yeah. I like what you said. Celebrate growth in all forms. Very beautifully said, and I think that's what builds confidence. That's what builds curiosity with team, and most important, just building that psychological safe space for them.
Yes.
Perfectly, very beautifully said, bro. Next question for you as a manager, right? What are the challenges that you faced as a manager that eventually has shaped your leadership style?
One of the biggest challenge that shaped me as a manager is learning how to navigate through creative burnout and ambiguity. In a fast-paced environment like ours, there's always new campaign, a festival, or a launch. With that comes constant pressure to come up with fresh ideas at speed. Early on, I realized that when leads to burnout, it's not just about timelines, it's about clarity and purpose. We lose energy when we don't see the why. So we started focusing on bringing direction, making sure the briefs are sharper, setting priorities, and ensuring that knowing that what impacts their own work. Scaling the creative team, it's about the importance of trust. We cannot micromanage
Yeah.
creativity. And I learned this that when people experiment, find their own path, that trust builds ownership within themselves. So, in a way, navigating through ambiguity, managing burnout, and scaling with empathy became my biggest leadership lesson.
Very, very nicely said. And something that's a good learning for me. How do you navigate creative burnout, right? It's the first time that I've heard, and that's to do with having a clear why, bringing clarity. Yeah, very well said, bro. Very, very good. Uh, Probably the next question that I have for you: what's your secret sauce of building a team culture?
Secret sauce for me is where creating space to being themselves. When people know that they won't be judged for an idea that doesn't work, they show up bolder and better. We've also built a culture where open feedback is encouraged. It's never about hierarchy. Anyone can give input. It's always about uh, building confidence. So that makes the idea sharper. Another big part of celebrating is in their individuality. Everyone brings something unique. Someone is great at storytelling, someone is great at eye for detail, someone is great at data, and we let that shine. And there are some small rituals that we do, which is, sharing something on the daily stand up, sharing feedback, celebrating every store launch, sharing performance on the group chats. So this encourages the team, and the heart of it all is trust their individuality and share their joy.
Yeah, if I have to just summarize that, you're saying celebrate authenticity, let individuals be the way they are, celebrate all their wins, have a daily ritual, and just celebrate performance. And that's your secret sauce, if I've
Absolutely.
summarized it well.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Prav, you are a leader now. You are in the journey. I'm sure you've had many mentors in your journey, right? Now, as you mentor the next set of creative leaders, what is that one leadership principle, if you will, that you want to pass on to the next set of leaders?
The one principle that I always pass on is lead with empathy and clarity.
Mm.
Creativity is deeply human. So for my team, I always tell my team, when you guide someone, listen to their ideas, their struggles, and empathy builds trust, and trust builds great work, and it connects us all. So empathy alone is not enough. You need clarity. People do their best when you know what is expected from them and why it matters as well. So we try to communicate goals very clearly. We set the right context and let them take the lead. And finally, I believe in consistency. Inspiration is great. Consistency is what makes you dependable as a leader. When your team knows that they can count on you for feedback, for fairness, they mirror that energy. So for me, it's a blend of empathy, clarity, and consistency.
Empathy, clarity, and consistency. Very well said. If I have to just put an equation to that, right? And with whatever I've heard from you, Prav, right, through your all the questions that you've answered in terms of clarity, the why, empathy, creating in psychological safe space, authenticity. I think you're one leader who believes in empathy plus action, which is compassionate leadership. Because
Yes.
today, a lot of leaders are empathetic, but you also do action empathy, which will then
Yes.
build trust. And if you build trust, that's when compassion leadership comes into play. So
Yes.
that's what, if I have to summarize,
Yes.
that's the way you work, Rob. That's fantastic. Very good to hear. And thanks for everything that you do for Myntra. I'm sure you inspire your team every single day. And I'm pretty sure and I'm hopeful you again win the award next year, Prav. As we end, right? All our podcasts we end with a rapid fire, and that's not going to be any different for you. So we'll quickly do a rapid fire for you, Prav.
Yes. Let's go.
One design trend you love right now.
It's natural textures, raw photography, and real people.
Mm, raw emotions. That
Yes.
a creativity tool that you can't live without,
It changes every month with the pace at which we are growing. I think I would say AI tools have become kind of my brainstorming
which is an AI tool
partners.
you're using now.
Now I use multiple tools: Gemini, ChatGPT, Nano Banana, and for videos we have different set of tools, Higgsfield. So there are different tools we use for different purposes.
Best advice you have ever received.
It's not what you say that matters, but how you say is what matters. So it has always helped in the way I communicate with my team, in my personal life, and with anyone.
If not in design, what would you be doing today?
I think I would have a small restaurant or a cafe with a photography studio, which kind of, continues the creative and connects me with the creative aspect of my
Do you
life.
like photography? Do you do photography?
Sometimes, yes.
Very nice. One thing you've learned from your team this year.
The kind of passion, energy, and curiosity that they bring in, that keeps the entire team stay connected. And it also gives me energy to show up to work every single day with the same consistency that I would want to bring in.
Thank you, Prav. Thank you for that. Um, Thank you for all that you said. I think I have learned things that the most important thing is let just people grow the way they grow and celebrate all. And I think one thing is for sure, you're a great compassionate leader, and all that you said is a true masterclass for creative leadership, for people leadership. So thank you everything that you do, Prav. Continue to inspire your team, continue to inspire all of us. And like I said, we're rooting for you to win the award again next year. So thank you once again. Thank you once again, everyone. We come to the end of the second episode of Chatter Matters podcast. Look forward for many more inspirational stories that are shaping Myntra culture. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Jubin. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.